was at my boss's funeral, kneeling and whispering at the coffin, "Who's thinking outside the box now, Gary?" Welcome to Shave&Butcher. Death is about a bit of the theme. Today, the shave will be with Barrister Mann's Hallows. It's a Halloween scent that they have had for a while, and they release it. I don't know if it's every Halloween, but it's been before. At least different labels too. And this one is from this year, so it's not brand new, but it's very new for being me, because I only have old soaps. Using the Friendship Shaving synthetic knot Macy brush from Frank Shaving, right? Made it. Yeah, so I had a bit of a cool experience with Barrister Mann's night music, and got a feeling. I sent a message to Barrister Mann. I even wrote a poem. It was horrific, so I won't read it to you. But basically, it was, "Dear scent maker, can you make a scent that smells like death?" I don't know. I sometimes obsess a bit about death. And they wrote back and said, "Well, that sounds like Hallows." So I guess they're just being lazy. They don't want to make a new one. So they refer to an old one. But I thought, okay. So without reading much about it, I asked if anyone had the soap for sale. And I managed to buy it. And I have the matching balm. So this has been used before, but not very much because of the scent and how it was perceived. So cool. So this is my first shave with Barrister Mann's Hallows. And I wanted a scent that reminded of death, but because I don't know. I find I don't long for death or anything like that. I just find death fascinating. And this is engineered to smell like a body hunter, someone who digs up bodies from a graveyard, specifically this in the 18th century at a graveyard in Boston. Can't remember the name, which is famous in Boston, etc. And I think Barrister Mann folks originate from Boston or something. So it's supposed to be reminiscent of digging up corpses late on a late October night. So graveyardy, chilly scent. And the ingredients are, well, some of them are vetiver, oak moss, black pepper, cocoa, cedar, something I can't pronounce. And it's interesting because the scent isn't super strong, so you have to pay attention and make a bit of an effort. With imagination, I get earth or dirt for sure. It's quite peppery, quite spicy, which is hard to place in a graveyard, but also, and maybe it's imagination, but some reminiscence of decaying flesh somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's, and I don't know out of those ingredients what would cause that or bring out that scent. But I get the feeling, and you know, the imagination of the scent is really more important than the scent itself, because it is the experience to the shaver that is important. Okay, the aftershave, which I've had on my head for a while, and I actually put some on the face. I had shaved about an hour ago. That obviously speaks to other people too. That's never been too important to me. If someone is annoyed, if someone I live with, like my wife, is annoyed by a scent, I'm not going to wear it. So, as I said before, Barrister Mann's Rome, I couldn't wear at home. I wasn't a big fan, but it was cool because it's really outrageous. But my wife said, I can't be in the same room as you. And that was a very strong scented soap as well. And I only had the soap, so you can imagine, an hour after, and my wife would leave the room. Now, that's a strong scent. Sorry, apologize. Just got some in my mouth. So, yeah, so it's a graveyard soap. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? It still is sophisticated, you know, it smells quite nice. Well, it smells very nice. But I love how scents take you places, and, you know, graveyards don't smell of corpses. They don't. But the imagination of decay is important when you think about graveyards, isn't it? Okay, so let's see if it's a good soap too. The razor is Tori, Japanese frameback, made from Swedish steel. Here we go. Well, it's a pretty nice soap base. I was listening to someone today who called Barrister Mann overrated. I disagree. I've never had a bad shave with Barrister Mann soap. And I've owned a few. Flicking it. And Barrister Mann has the most intriguing scents, both in terms of what they smell like and in terms of stories, you know, storylines. Out of all the soap makers that I've tried, and I have not tried every single one of them, there's a lot of American, particular American, it just falls off the soap, the lather falls off the razor. And it's 100% perfectly mixed, so it's not like it's wet in some places. It's beautiful. So I've tried fewer Barrister Mann soaps than a lot of people, I realize that. But right now I have a little bit of a crush. So I've ordered also, or purchased also, secondhand Night Music, including the Aftershave Splash and the EDT. And unfortunately, Barrister Mann is American, so purchasing new from America is expensive. So I'd rather buy slightly used, you know, something someone didn't quite like scent-wise. It because you get it a bit cheaper. You don't have to pay freight and customs and V8 sales tax and so forth. And this is a razor worthy of this magnificent soap as well. It is a spectacularly good razor. And this soap, and I don't know what the soap base is called, but it has no meat. So there's lanolin, well, I guess, yeah, it's sort of meaty. Lanolin, shea butter, glycerine. I can't remember if it's glycerine, but that stuff like that in the base. I don't study bases. It just said on the box. I apologize. But a remarkably fantastic soap base, which it's a dream. The scent is really intriguing, and if it did smell like a decaying body in dirt, of course that would have been horrible and not very nice. Interesting, but unbearable. So this is more, this could be smelling of the grave diggers, right? Those adventurous madmen. And what did they smell like? Mixed with the chilly air of Boston in the autumn. Maybe the black pepper, the spiciness is Old Spice that they wore. I don't know. I love this razor. It's a pretty big one too. I haven't measured it. But it's a decent sized. I'm keeping quiet when I'm shaving that part of the face so I don't cut myself too much. So scents, yeah. Scents is interesting. And this is really, the more I sniff it, the more it is sophistication, It smells sophisticated. I smell sophisticated. I've never been to Boston. My imagination about Boston is that it is sophisticated. If you've been to Boston, is that true? I hope one day I get to go. I hope one day we can travel again. I miss traveling. And you know what I miss from traveling? I miss the scents, because every place has its scents, Airports do, hotels do, taxi cars, weather, food, people. I've been to Africa quite a few times, and the scents in Africa are just wow, blows you away. I don't know what it is, and it's a mix, but it's just even the dirt has fantastic smell, which is different because Africa is a huge continent, but where I've been, which is mainly West Africa. Hope one day I can go back, and I hope, you know, I can go back to a lot of places. I know you shouldn't travel if you don't have to, especially now. But I miss it, you know. I can live without it, but I do miss it. Do you? You know, or what do you miss in these crazy times? This is a good shave. This is turning out very nicely. Cool. That's a wrap. Little bit of a weeper there. That's a wrap. I'm going to rinse and come back for the post-shave balm. Back for post-shave Barrister Mann Hallows post-shave balm. That's what it looks like. And it smells not exactly the same, but after a while, and I did try it before, as I said, after a while it is pretty much the same. Because to start off with, it's quite spicy and leathery somehow, and then gradually it turns into something, I don't know, something in the distance, something quite spectacular, and wild and still peaceful. I don't know. It was Barrister Mann's Hallows. Fantastic. Buy it. It's not overrated. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Take care and stay sharp.